everybody, welcome back to another Blind Tuesdays. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. This is the fourth time that I've tried to record this. I mean, goddamn. I would explain a little bit more as to what happened, but at this point I'm just like wanting to get to the review. But just to set it up properly, just so you guys understand just kind of the headache this whole review has gotten. I attempted to record it twice yesterday, and the first time I tried recording it, I was going to the beach, right, and just going for a little night stroll, and just to cut to the chase, I caught a couple having sex right in front of me. I was parked right in front of a car, and they were just having their fun, and really threw me off, and just my thoughts kind of got a little like oh, okay. And then I tried to record it again, and then I was dealing with some anxiety and stuff yesterday, and that, just kind of amplified a little bit. And then just now I was trying to record it, and then because my phone is connected to my car, so my phone just decided to do something odd, and well, here we are. So this is the fourth time, and I'm gonna get right down to it. So we're off just doing some business, and the film that we're gonna discuss is within the criteria this week is being horror, and I'm not entirely sure if this is the first time we've done horror on this particular segment. I believe we've discussed horror films, but the criteria of that week was not horror. I think we did like Dracula, one of the Blind Tuesdays, but I believe the criteria was like something in the 30s or something like that. So it wasn't horror specific, but now it is. And there's a lot of films that I could have gone for, some all-time favorites, some classics. But I decided to go for something a little bit modern just because I like the discussion that this film brings, and generally it's just a really, really interesting little treat. That film being from Robert Eggers, a filmmaker we've discussed in the past. We've discussed the other two films that he has directed, that being The Witch, which I like. Don't hate it. It's good, but not great. The Northman, his most recent work, I am not a big fan of. Kind of adopting more of a mainstream quality, not really for me. But the one Dead in the Center, his second feature, is the one that I really love the most, and it seems to be unanimous. A lot of people like the most. That film being, of course, The Lighthouse, which was written and directed by Robert Eggers, released in 2019, and starring Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe as two lighthouse keepers in the 1890s. As an inspiration of sorts for the film, there was a lost Edgar Allan Poe poem that was never fully realized, that I guess acts as sort of an influence for creating The Lighthouse in terms of screenplay. But discussing the story, though, proper, it follows two lighthouse keepers played by Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. And Robert Pattinson is the newbie, as it seems that there were previous keepers that were working under Willem Dafoe's wing. Something happened to them. We're not really sure, but we get clues later on. But at the start, it seems as though that they were probably just fired or laid off, whatever. And Robert Pattinson is the latest to come aboard on Willem Dafoe's, Willem Dafoe's domain, it seems. And things seem normal at first. Robert Pattinson has his duties, Willem Dafoe has his duties, specifically attending to the light itself, which he takes pleasure in, and that is his domain. That is what he seems to be most proud of and cherishes of the most, or at least keeps close to his chest. And what unravels from specifically Willem Dafoe is someone very unhinged, and someone also incredibly manipulative, as he starts to plant little seeds in Robert Pattinson's mind about what could be in the light. This whole folktale that he describes, and saying that, oh well, the last person that was here, he he thought something was in the light, some sort of enchantment, and eventually Pattinson, starts to succumb to that idea of perhaps maybe there is something there based on how Defoe is acting, based on what he may or may not have seen, and slowly but surely we descend with him in a trip to madness and a trip to insanity, and the truth of the matter starts to blur, and ultimately the reliance and the trust in the narration of the film itself starts to become questionable at best. And what you get from The Lighthouse, I would say, is an experience, because The Lighthouse, properly viewed, is in a few respects, but primarily from an experience. The first of which it definitely is tense and definitely has a creep factor to it, which is why it ultimately is basically in that of horror. But make no mistake about it, it also is built as a comedy, because a lot of the interplay between Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and just by dialogue, just how they're by acting choices and just by overall design of the writing, it feels humorous in its nature, and it's produces a lot of that dark chuckles and just it seems to be the overall intent behind it. And obviously the performances in this are great. I mean, you get Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, who are just on their A game. Dafoe always being great, Pattinson though being a standout, because I like him. I'm not like huge on him, but I like his work. I like his work that would follow up afterwards from this, High Life, and then his interpretation of Batman. Before this, there was Good Time, which was kind of like his big splash in the acting scene, or at least people started really taking him seriously as a performer at that point. And I would argue that this is probably his best work, just because I love, my favorite scene, probably my favorite scene of the film is when Robert Pattinson believes to have cracked the code, figured out what Willem Dafoe's game is, because it ultimately is a game. It's the whole point of the film is a game on who can dominate who, and there's great discussions that can be had within the language of the film. There's ideas that people have, like maybe perhaps, both have the same names, or at least reference having the same names. So perhaps there's something to that. Maybe that we're in someone's psychosis and we're looking at it from one particular point of view. Maybe that of Willem Dafoe, and Robert Pattinson's a younger version, or vice versa. Robert Pattinson's a younger version and Willem Dafoe is an older version. Like something that I said in an older review, or one of the previous attempts to review this, is that Jerry, the film that we had just discussed recently, perhaps is a indication of what The Lighthouse is going for in terms of just how it is visually trying to represent itself, and the overall design and overall behavior of it. Maybe Jerry is a clue to that. But it is a what if ultimately, and it resides in that, and it really works in that respect. Because with more knowledge, I feel that it would be less exciting and less fun as a result, because this is a really fun film. It's really fun, really intriguing, acted greatly. I love the performances here by Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and what you get from it is, firstly, something aesthetically just rich. I think the black and white is just gorgeous. I love the framing of this film. There's so many details within just the actual frame, and obviously details within the production itself. Robert Eggers being very detail-oriented type filmmaker. It's evident when you watch all his movies. He's very packing in the details of his movies. But it's just a really fun ride, and I really just got a knock out of it just because of where it's coming from. Like the overall purpose and design, and just the performances itself, just really elevate it and bring it to a place of real mystery, real intrigue, real charm, and ultimately just real good fun that is intentionally humorous and seems to be like the primary goal of it is, of course, horror. I mean, it wants to produce oddness and fear, but at the same time, it also wants to get a laugh out of you, because it's a lot of what Ari Aster tries to do, and to some extent, I don't know if they both, if Ari Aster and Robert Eggers kind of share same space with each other. I don't know, if they know each other personally, but it's you can, kind of seems like they rub off against each other, they both have very similar behaviors. But overall, though, I get a huge kick out of it. I really enjoy myself with it, and all due to the performances, to its aesthetics, to its attention to detail, and just design, craftsmanship. It's just a really, really just good time. It's a really good time, and just good fun. I really just get a kick out of it every time I watch it, and the mystery is there, and it is intentional. It is there in design, and it works. It's not just oh, look, we're gonna be ambiguous, and it's it's clearly not that ambiguous. You're just saying that just to make you seem your narrative is more produced, but it's not. It's more, it's more thin. But for Lighthouse case, it is mysterious, and it definitely is that. Still, there you could view it in many different respects, and that's why it also works so well, is because it's a great discussion piece. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. I mean, out of all of Robert Eggers' films, definitely his best work, and probably will still continue to be his best work, because I'm not sure how to feel about his new film Nosferatu coming out, but yeah, really, really enjoyed The Lighthouse. Really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on The Lighthouse. I really, really enjoy it quite a bit. One of my favorite theatrical experiences, of all time. I absolutely love the experience watching it. If you can catch in a theater, if they're showing a print somewhere, a double feature type thing, because this is has double feature written all over it. If you can catch in a theater, check it out, because it's just prime for it. Absolutely check it out. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this Blind Tuesdays. Sorry if I kind of I was trying to do the comparison between Ari Aster and Robert Eggers, just because I could see Ari Aster within this sort of type of film, but I feel like that kind of got away from me a little bit, my analysis of that. So, but I was just trying to par again, a little busy, but yeah, but generally, really love The Lighthouse, and you guys let me know your thoughts on The Lighthouse. And this being Blind Tuesdays, obviously. We're going to spin the wheel again. I'm not at home, obviously, so whatever the film is going to be, or whatever the pick is going to be, it's going to be right here. And whatever that is, that's going to be for next week's Blind Tuesdays. So there you have it. So that's going to be it for this Blind Tuesdays. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on The Lighthouse in the comment section below, and your thoughts on Robert Eggers as a filmmaker, and what he has upcoming. Your thoughts on the remake of Nosferatu, or at least the interpretation of Nosferatu. I don't know if it's more true to the book or what they're trying to do with it. I forget. I know it's a different POV that they're trying to do, but let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.